Hello, 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 everybody. It is the noon hour over here in Cali land, in California world. Um, and it is time to start and play. I'm going to give a few people some time to arrive and to enter into the room as everybody's starting to reorient. If you see, there is a chat box below the screen if you wanted to jump in on the chat. There is a box, a small little box that says login on the bottom left corner. If you click on that, then it'll give you a couple different options of how you can log in. You can either use like Facebook or Gmail or Yahoo, and it'll get you all set up. Um, so you can go ahead and log in and do it that way. And I just want to thank you for coming and thank you for arriving. I'm really, really excited. I'm really excited to share this with you and to be here with you and really to play. I'll talk in a little bit more. I wanted to give another minute or so for people to kind of start to filter in as they move from their comings and goings. And yes, thank you. Thanks, Tavius, for putting the instructions as far as how to log into the chat box for those who want to join in. So let me give a couple more minutes. And in the chat box, if you have any comments or any questions throughout the duration of the training, jump on in and go ahead and include them there. And I will definitely address them as they come up. I'm very much an organic person, and what needs to be questioned. Awesome. That's right. Becky, you can go get your coffee. Yeah. You have about another minute and then we'll actually kind of get going. But yeah, coffee, tea, for those of you who might be eating lunch at this time, nibble on down. Whatever will satiate you through the training. Be comfortable. What is totally about is comfortable. I know on other trainings that I've participated in and I've been a part of, that people are taking notes and giving lots of information, and this training is going to be very, very different. And so let's get going. Yeah, let's start. And those who are going to filter in as I kind of go into the intros, then they'll kind of roll into the introductions as we start settling. So I'm really, really super excited because I get to play with you and to teach and to work with you as a group on how to use your intuition and your own inner guidance and your own inner tools to as your most powerful tool. And this is how I use it, how my clients use it, people I work with, as far as really growing their practice from that place first. I'll talk more about it as we go along, and it'll make a lot of sense. Hi, Pixie. And so as we move in, I wanted to give you a little bit of the lay of the land, because like I said, this training is going to be different than other trainings that are out there, different than ones that I have been on and possibly ones that you've experienced as well. It's very experiential. And so the first half of this is going to be focused on my own personal background, my training, as well as my own journey, more importantly, because a lot of what I've created and crafted has been a part of how I've come to it and how I've learned to really, really hone into my own felt sense, that felt sense resonance. And then I want to give a little bit of the background context as far as what's out there, what support looks like, and really my passion and my reasons for just really, really, really being called to offering this as an alternative and as a different way to work in the world, to be in the world. This is my joy. This is really one of like my biggest callings, and I know is, and so I'm so excited to share it with you. One other piece that I wanted to add is I love love working with groups. I love working with it. I don't know if you've experienced it before when you're either praying or meditating or doing something on your own compared to the difference of working with other people in groups. It's just, you get a group of people and it just amplifies everything. You can, the pieces that we're learning, the pieces that we are growing, it can do it in ease because everybody's vibrating at this awesome resonance. And so I'm really excited to get into the second half, will be the play part. One thing I did want to note as far as the experiential is, because it is so experiential, and when I started crafting this, I realized there's a lot of pieces that I wanted to really embed into your own system. So it's not just taking it in from your head, it's learning how to take it in from your body. So it's embedding it into your tissues, and it's offering you a different way to be in the world, as well as a different way to play. And I'll talk more about what I mean by play in a little bit. But today, what I want to focus on is just teaching how to kind of come back to yourself and connect in with just you, as well as clearing any excess energy that's out there. And what I want to send out to you over the course of the next week and a half are the other tools that I mentioned of how to take this internal intuitive practice out into the world. How do you grow your practice from this place? How to use this as your tool? And so it all will make sense as we keep moving along. So we're about 5 minutes past, and I'm feeling like everybody's starting to gather pretty well. And so before I move into the next piece, I just invite you just to take a breath and to allow yourself to arrive. Give yourself permission. Yeah, I can feel everyone starting to settle in. Maybe you need to stretch a little bit, move a little bit. I feel like a wobbly head. My head's kind of moving back and forth, and that's what it wants to do. And that's what I let it do as it starts to present itself. But yeah. Again, I just thank each one of you for arriving and for coming. And hey, Erica, so glad you're here with us. And so I'm really, really excited to be here with you. And from this place, what I invite you to just notice is how you take in information. The next pieces that I'm going to go through is a little bit more of the head, a little bit more of the mental pieces. And I'm naming it for a specific reason. One, because I am more of a body person. So it's a little different for me to talk about this stuff. But notice how you take it in. And don't take down notes. Don't worry about any of those pieces of recall. Just allow it to just kind of absorb into your system. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And nice. Oh, I can feel that, Melanie. That's awesome. The neck is an awesome place to really pay attention and notice the tension. It is one of the locations that is our voice, our vocal expression. When we bite down on our words, like literally, that's where we clamp all our communication and our means of expression. So neck, yeah, roll it, whatever it needs and wants, just play with it. So to take a step forward and looking at my own personal journey, starting with just naming the different images that I have on the screen. The very top is my sweetie pie. I adore my sweetie pie. And we met in college 2 decades ago, 20 years ago, and been friends ever since, and started our own partnership together about 3 years ago. And magical to be able to hold each other in that place and have that support. I know those of us that are spiritual and holistic and having someone hold us in whatever way, shape, or form is so important. And then the bottom left image is of myself in an anointing session. Um, I'll work a lot with the oils, and I call in the archetypes of the white buffalo woman as well as a scent priestess. And I move in that space of allowances. I work with the master teachers and the spirits and energies, and when I shift into that place of just surrender, that's my magic place. That's where I love to do my work when I'm working with clients. And so that was that piece that I was really honored someone was able to capture. And in the bottom right corner is a picture. I'm such a comic book fan, it's not even funny. I was so honored to be able to meet Stan Lee and spoil my nephew Rotten at Comic-Con this past year. So my journey started professionally. I was a high school teacher, and I loved, and I still love teaching, and especially being able to work with students and with high schoolers. I love that age group because my style of teaching then is my style of teaching now, and that I ask lots of questions. I play devil's advocate because I go to a place where we just really start to tease out your belief system and question, is it mine? Is that somebody else's? Does that resonate with me? Where did this come from? Did it even come ancestral? Is this passed down through my lineage and it's not mine anymore? And so that's the way I really love to work with my clients and teaching them how to question. The more I can question, the more they start to question themselves, and they start to move and shift in like just beautiful openings, and they're more kind of true person, their more authentic self kind of just surfaces. It's just beautiful to witness. And so as I was teaching high school, at one point, I just, for those of us, and I know there are some teachers on the call, and I hear you. And thank you guys for joining. I know the workload of teaching, because it really is a passion. And at one point, the preparations and the grading, I was an English teacher, so there's lots of grading. It was too much. It was a lot of doing, a lot of efforting. And so I needed to pull back. And when I pulled back, I retreated, and then I just started grabbing everything I can get my hands on: spirituality, philosophy, psychology, the body. And I just started just feeding myself. And it was like amazing. Like I fell in love. I fell in love. It was just like I was reading these words, but my body's like, I know this. Like I know this. Like everything that I've believed is all coming together. And when that happened about 15 years ago, it was just this felt sense. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be, the details of where I was going, but I just knew I was going to be a teacher, and I was going to teach how to heal and integrate the mind, the body, and the spirit all together. Um, and so I went on my path, and I started searching. I started just learning and learning and learning as much as I could. I became a licensed massage therapist so I can learn about the body. I got my master's in holistic psychology because that had the mind, the body, and the spirit all together. I'm currently working on my dissertation in East-West psychology, which also combines the East-West, the spirituality, and then the psychology, and my emphasis in trauma, so the body as well. And in all this searching and all this learning, the biggest thing that I've learned is how to come back to myself and how to listen to my own felt sense. And the knowledge and the information is there, and it will always be there. But it was learning how to come back to what felt right to me was the most important thing. I mean, I was in my master's program, and we had our first body-oriented therapy class. And I was so excited, because I'm like, oh my God, this is why I'm here, to learn how the body and the mind combine together. And I remember sitting in that class, and every part of my body was just like contracted and tense and frustrated. And it was because I didn't use the body the same way. It was working with the body as an object. It was looking at your client and noticing how they're holding themselves, noticing their breath, watching their mechanics, watching their positions, which is part of it. But it just didn't feel right. I knew there was something more. And I know with the body, the body is an amazing, amazing container that holds our memories, it holds our emotions, it holds our thoughts, it holds everything. It holds portals and access to so many different ways of being. It's more than just an object. And so I learned to come back to myself. I learned to listen to my own body as my tool and how to navigate in the world. So taking a breath. I'm going to do that throughout this for each one of us. Like I said, I don't throw a lot of information at you. I like to allow integration. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling, and I'm also going to name what I'm tracking, because I'm tracking the whole group as we go through this. And the reason I'm naming it is to help you notice your own differences. Like I felt when I paused, I felt everybody start to settle, the energy as a collective settle a little bit more in your sit bones. Some folks are up in their hearts and some down in their bellies. Yeah, beautiful. So in this journey, after I finished my educational piece, I moved into private practice. And what I have learned in private practice is that is the biggest spiritual growth and spiritual development I've ever been on in my journey. And I'm not sure if any of you can identify with it. If you can, it just feels familiar as a holistic and a spiritual being of moving out into practice and moving out into the world of this is who I am in my spiritual practice, in my private practice is the same. It's my beliefs. It's how I function. It's the reason why I choose to use the word practice. I intentionally choose the word because it resonates with me. Business doesn't resonate. When I say business, I feel contraction, like my muscles, okay, my fists just clenched, my upper arms, my biceps just tightened when I consider what I do a business. But when I say a practice, I invite you to notice the same difference. Do you react the same way? When I say practice, I feel expansion. My muscles let go. I'm practicing. I'm always practicing. I'm trying different things new. I'm expanding out. So moving into the practice aspect and the different supports that are out there and leading to why I have created what I'm creating and what I'm going to teach you in a little bit is first is the business support. It's very masculine energy. And when I mean by business support, it's very logical. This is where you post in 3 to 5 different Facebook groups 5 times a day. It's probably not 5, but it feels like 5 times a day. This is when you're on Periscope all the time. You're on YouTube all the time. You're doing all this stuff. And it's very masculine. The masculine energy is the externalize. It's the getting yourself out there. It's the doer. And what was happening for me is I felt like I was getting lost really fast. I was getting really disconnected to myself. And I don't know if you can identify with this, if any of this part resonates, but the business support in trying to learn these systems, they're systems. They're supposed to be, you can duplicate it, you can get the same results, and this is what you're going to do. And even as I'm talking, I feel like I'm in a box. And just notice how you're feeling as I'm talking about these different supports. There's 3 different systems I'm going to talk about. As I talk about the business support, how does it feel? How does it feel in your system? And so the masculine energy externalizes it. It moves it out of us. It's everything outside in our world. But it's so busy doing and worrying about goals and worrying about where I'm going that it's disconnected from who I am. It's disconnected from my own center. It's almost like a ship without a rudder. It's kind of like going through like these motions and doing and doing and doing, and it's starting to circle and exactly. It's sickening. It's feeling maybe in your belly you're not feeling so well, because of the disconnection, the dissociation that happens. Um, the other support is spiritual support, which is the feminine energy, and just feel the difference. We shifted from the business support of the more masculine, and now as we move into the feminine, notice what that shift feels like. And I keep going to feeling because intuition works with feelings. It works with sensations. It works with the gut. And so the more you notice it and be aware of, the more you can kind of connect in and play with it. Nice. Really peaceful. Like I almost feel like a sea right now, really peaceful. And so the spiritual support was a lot of amazing internal growth process for myself. Like just in the last few years alone, I feel like I've moved through lifetimes and light years of the growth process that's been able to move through me. And the tools, the primary tools of the meditation and visualization are wonderful tools. However, when it comes to my business, it felt like my business wasn't moving forward. The results that I was wanting and craving wasn't happening. And it was really, really fitting because I just heard yesterday, I was watching a clip of the Dalai Lama, and he led a group in a moment of silence and in meditation for the group, and the tragedy that happened in Orlando. And after the meditation occurred, he spoke for a little while, and it was just beautiful because he was saying that meditation isn't enough. You need action. You start from this place of conviction and of heart, and then you act. And it was just so fitting. I was listening. I'm like, yes, it's not just the feminine meditation. It's not just the masculine action. It's the both combined. That I see goosebumps on my arms of just what he's talking about and what I believe in teaching. Um, and the last piece that I wanted to refer to is what I'm naming the spiritual business support, which I've been noticing as a trend that has been increasing lately. And the way I understand it and the way I look at it, is I understand it as masculine energy masked as feminine. And what I mean by that, it's using feminine words like the passion and the heart, but it's still using logical steps. And it's still disconnected from intuition. And it's still a fragmentation and a separation of here's the spiritual and here's the masculine. Here's your beliefs and your values and who you are. And here's let's do. And it doesn't work. And for those of us who are more sensitive, it's not a way of being in the world that resonates. And it's exhausting. And so you can't sustain yourself. You can't support your clients the best that you want to. And I could just feel it and I can hear it in my voice. It's just really frustrating. So before I move on to the last couple pieces, I'm curious of questions that are coming up, thoughts that are coming up, as I've moved through all the different support systems. And as well as like anything that you're noticing in your body, noticing emotions, feelings, and just notice it. Or even just take a breath. Nice. Nice. I just felt the group drop again, like a drop from the head place down to the heart. Um, so why I was called to create this was, as I was saying, as I was doing all this searching, that something kept feeling it was not right. I have worked with lots of different coaches and received lots of trainings and guidances, and everything in my system was just, I would get really almost nauseous, like this is so wrong, and really frustrated and really angry um, in my systems. And so I was craving an integrated support system that was both the spiritual and the practice, the business guidance, something that held both of them. And yet it didn't exist what I could find. And so this is why I've created this. Um, and what does it mean? Is first and foremost is cultivating a relationship with your intuition. And like I keep saying, is how does that feel? What's your felt sense? What's the resonance? How does it feel for you? The more you become curious about it, the more you inquire about it, the more information you're going to find. And I don't mean like information like, oh, like step 1, step 2, step 3. It's not like that. It's more like it's think about like a great friend that you have, and the relationship that you have with them. That at one point, I could speak for myself. At one, we can speak in gibberish and in slang in our own different languages, and even in shorthand, and we just get it. And that's the same type of relationship that I teach my clients how to cultivate with their intuition and their own felt sense. And the other piece that I wanted to put out and onto the table and give it space as well is to acknowledge that we are part of a collective to shift consciousness and a way of being. If you're on this call and this drew you or this attracted you, it's because the way everything's out there right now doesn't feel right. It's that the inspiration that you once had and that was really calling to you and you were craving has been disconnected as you've been trying to move out into the world. And what I mean of we are part of a collective, there is a group, like a wave, think of a wave, like there's a tidal wave of us that are moving out into the world. And we're not just doing things differently. We're not just acting differently. Words aren't just differently. We're being differently. And that's what's changing. And for me, exactly. It's coming from the inside out. And it's coming from inside and then moving outside. It's coming from inside first, and then that's how you maneuver. And this is the way that I teach my clients how to really embody and integrate the masculine and the feminine energies together. So two last pieces I just wanted to make a quick note of, and I'll go deeper into the other videos that I'll send to you, is just talking about marketing and business in general. And I don't know if you just felt it, but as I said the words, like the energy of the group just shifted and changed. And almost like stood straight up, like we're doing it right, and a little bit more rigid. And so as I go on to the last two slides of marketing is a trend. Marketing is malleable. It changes, it ebbs, it flows. What was trendy in the way to do things, I was going to say a year ago, if not even just 3 months ago, is not the same way that people are going to be doing it a month from now or 2 months from now. The one thing that is going to be constant is going to be the same as you. Who you are, how you move, that is the constancy. All these other pieces are all portals, I refer to them, like Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. They're portals to connect with the outside world. They're all different possibilities, and the way they are being used aren't even going to be the way you're going to use it. You're going to find your own unique way, your own style, the way that really like just lights you up inside, that's going to fit for you. And the last piece about good old private practice is curious play and experiment. Everything is an experiment. Everything is you're trying it out. I just invite you to notice, I'm going to say 2 different things, and just notice how you respond to each one. Is I need to post my update today. I need to post about my class that I'm teaching. I need to post it 3 times this week in 5 different groups. Now notice, I wonder what it's going to be like to post today. I wonder if I even want to post in that group. No, not feeling it. I wonder where my joy is going to be. I wonder what's going to come of this. I wonder if I tweak this and play with it and put it over here, what's it going to be like? I'm still doing the same things per se. I'm still posting. I'm still putting content out there. I'm still doing it, but in a much different way. Yeah. Instead of like this, it's like a pressure cooker. It's like everything becomes constricted, everything becomes tight, and like even my system and my body starts to become smaller and smaller. I am kind of curling up into a ball. But if I'm curious about it, I start like my body's moving into a different position. I'm like, I wonder what it looks like over here. I wonder what happens if I change a word. I wonder what happens if I reach out to that person. It totally, totally changes and shifts it. So the next pieces that I'm going to move into is it is the experiential. And the reasoning of starting with what we're starting with the experiential is stepping out and really lighting your beacon. And as I was creating this, and I'm like, okay, this is how I use intuition. This is how I create my content. This is how I move into the world. But the first thing really is connecting with yourself. And it's because it's such an important and crucial piece, I wanted to stop and slow down and really, really, really take time to go through this meditation. It's almost like an initiation, because as we go through this meditation, for those of you who may or may not have really played with the body or connecting with your internal core systems, pieces are going to come up. You may have emotions, you may have memories, you may have feelings maybe come up. And we all are holding containers for other people. We're sensitives, and that's kind of what we naturally do. Holding the containers, even with really great boundaries, we still take something home with us. And so we need to really let go of other people's stuff, let go of worrying and taking care of everyone else, and sloughing it off. And so the next half of our work together is going to be all about doing that. Before I move into that, I just have, are there any questions about any of the pieces or any comments about all the stuff that we have moved through so far? Okay. So going into playtime. So before we go into playtime, I would like to explain to you what we're actually going to do. I'm going to be guiding you through the whole way, so you don't need to remember everything. I like to explain everything just because you won't be trying to figure out what we're doing in the moment. So essentially, it's basically connecting to your center and releasing any blocks or excess, things that no longer serve you. And so first, I'm going to talk you through connecting to your core, and whatever feels more comfortable for you. This might be your heart, this might be your belly. And then from that place, we're going to slow things down and just Just notice and allow. It's nothing to fix, it's nothing to change. It's just to be, again, be curious about it, right? What's that over there? What's this telling me? What is it trying to communicate to me? And then the third step is anything that's coming up as far as the emotions or stories or memories that just feel like it's heavy and it no longer serves anymore. I'm going to show an image of a fire, and I invite you just to visualize and to imagine that you're releasing it into the fire. You're releasing it into the flame. And during this whole time of the transforming it and transmutation is when I am going to shift into the white buffalo woman, that space. So you may hear sounding, you may hear vocalizations, and it's really to take all this excess piece, that just feel it when you're carrying somebody else's stuff, or even old patterns. It feels heavy, and so all of this to really alchemize it and to transform it and to light it up and to make it something different. Um, and to the last two pieces to end after we've gone through those processes is I'm going to say 4 different lines of allowing each different system permission to heal. I'm going to go through the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and then the soul body. And just by saying this out loud as a collective within the group, what this does is that it aligns your system with your soul. And it brings all your intention and all your pieces together. And then I'm going to wrap up with a grounding and an integration. So, taking a moment and just letting that all sink in. You don't, like I said, you don't have to worry about words or directions. I'm going to talk you and walk you right through it. I'm going to be right by your side. One thing I did want to note as far as the follow-up videos that I'm going to be sending to you is all the different pieces of how to take this and move it out into the world, how to be connected to your core and speak from that place, to move from that place. And so all this other stuff is stuff down the road. But I just want to emphasize why connecting to yourself is so important, because it really aligns you in into clarity, and your felt sense becomes really sharp, and your clarity of what's my next steps becomes really, really clear. So without further ado, we're gonna go into playland. So to start, I invite you just to take a couple breaths. You don't need to change the rhythm or the pattern, just notice. Just notice your awareness move through your body. Are there any parts that are calling for your attention? Maybe some memories or emotions come up. Just be curious. With your next breath, I invite you to move into your heart. Nice. And just notice, what does it feel like there? Is it warm? Does it have textures to it? Just notice. I invite each one of you, if you feel comfortable, to move back just about an inch in your body. Yes, right there. Does it feel the same? How does it feel different? From this place, I invite you to ask, what first called you? And allow it to show you the answers. As you sit in this place, in your heart, as you notice what is coming up, I invite you to release it into the fire, to visualize a stream from your body to the image on the screen, and send it there with love. And say, thank you. I no longer need you. Mm. Just continue, continue, continue to empty and release. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Ayawanakayo, ayayo. Ayawanakayo. Oh, Ayoshana, Ayoshana, Ayo, ay, ay, Sandara. Sadhana, sadhana, sadhana Shiva, sadhana Shiva, Sandara, Sandara. From this place, in this moment, I give my physical body permission to heal. All that is material, all that is physical has permission to heal. From this place, I give my emotional body permission to heal. It has all permissions from the past, the present, and the future. And from this place, I give my mental body permission to heal. All thoughts, memories, stories. It's time. It's time. And from this place, I give my soul body permission to heal. to heal and to nourish. When you're ready, I invite you to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, move your limbs around, your arms, your legs, and your head. And as your body starts to come back, start sliding and rubbing up and down your arms. Maybe even tapping down your legs. What feels right? What does your body want? What does it need? How do you stretch and move? Nice. Notice how you feel in this moment. Compared to how before when we started. Like what I'm very aware of as our collective group is some very present and bright and shiny souls as you're returning into your body. And this is you, detached from the external world, detached from the needs, detached from all those other pieces. This is what nourishes the soul and sustains. So as we start to wrap up, a couple little pieces of now what? What do you do is to play with it, to play with the concepts, to play with the practices that we just went through, and to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Like when I go to yoga and they give us these body positions to go into, I play with it. I try it out. I do different angles. The same thing with this. Play with it. Feel it on for size. It's kind of like when you were a kid, you played dress up. The same thing. And then just notice, notice, notice. Nothing needs to be changed. Nothing needs to be fixed. Just notice it. And then to really be kind with yourself. The work that we just went through will continue to work for some time as you continue to integrate and you become aware of other pieces. So as much self-care and love and fawning and adoring yourself, I really invite you to just embrace. And my email, monica@monicamartin.org. Reach out to me if anything should come up. I love to hear people's experiences in this alchemical kind of co-creative circle that we're in right now. Also, if anything should come up and you want support and assistance to process, I'm here for you. Because we've been through the eye of the needle a little bit, and the support system your body is going to be integrating. Um, Working with me one-on-one, I can offer even more support. A lot of my clients, we go through this piece, and then we also go into the integration, because changing and shifting awareness and changing and shifting energies and how to really integrate it and embed into your system and then take it out into the world and move and speak and be from this place is all the support that I do with my clients. One-on-one mentoring is what I offer with weekly sessions. I like to work in this type of container, like no notes. Like, you don't have to write down notes. You don't have to do anything. All your job and your role is just to be present. And I'm the one who holds the container. And I create and I send a follow-up email the next couple of days. So any of the details that came up in session is captured. So that way, when we're actually in session, all you have to do is be in session and allow whatever processes to happen. And additional resources that I offer my clients are different handouts and audio lessons and a lot of meditations. I like taking my clients through different shifts as well as different supports in different ways. I love to vocalize because it's a great way, just like sound vibration, to move energy. It's kind of also like anger. When I'm a boxer, but when I box, I vocalize a lot, and because I presence myself, I release my energy when I sound, and I become really, really super present. Um, and then the other additional, as my gift to you, and a huge, huge thank you. Thank you so much for coming and playing and participating. This really is my joy and my love and my passion. And so that you were part of this, just thank you. I can't thank you enough. Is I offer a complimentary 30-minute intro session. That way we can deepen and we can actually work one-on-one, just you and I in connection. And it's a blend of the meditation and the awareness pieces. And then once that is really solidified, then we move into externalizing it. And I work with my clients first of really, really learning how to connect with themselves and connect to their body. And then we start playing with going in and out of outside world, internal world. And then the other thing, because I love working with anointing oils, is if you book the intro session by Friday, June 24th, I will create a personalized infused anointing blend. And what I mean by that is I create an oil. Everything's intuitive. I don't read what this person needs for that, because I all want it to come from heart and soul. And so I go into that altered space again, and I create the blend accordingly to intuition. And then I blend it, and then I meditate for like 2 to 3 days. I meditate and I do sounding to really, really infuse it with intention. And that will go home to you, so you can really like put it onto your body and put it into your system of what it is that you're trying to physically shift your intention and manifestation. So yeah, if you book one of the intro sessions by the 24th, I would love to create that with you. And so we have like another minute or two. Are there any questions or any comments or anything that I can support anyone with at this time? No, I feel good. If any questions come up or any thoughts or any other lingering pieces, don't hesitate to reach out and connect with me. I will be sending the replay tomorrow, so you'll have access to the meditation that we just went through. And oh, you're welcome, Erica. You're welcome so much. And so you'll have the replay, and then just keep out. I want to stagger the videos because like you just experienced, like this, it's very experiential. And I like allowing time. So every few days I'll send another video out, another piece that you can add to your toolbox. This is what these are. They're different tools and another way of being and another way of playing around. So we're at the mark, and I'm going to finish with my Looney Tunes. Bitty bitty. That's all, folks. Thank you, everyone, so much for showing up and for playing and participating. Lots of love, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.